Hey, this is Elliott with updated intros. If you want to see our esteemed updated dates, if you want to see our esteemed guest, Andrew Orolfo, check him out at Caveat, New York, October 21st at 7 and 9 p.m. If you want to see Ariana, go check out her website for dates. And if you want to see me, I will be at the Brea Improv with Jeffrey Asmus on November 16th. So, yeah, go check us out. Follow us on social media for all those dates and updates. And have a good day. Enjoy the show. Yes.
Hi, I'm Ariana.
And I'm Elliott.
And this is
Burning the Light,
the podcast where we talk about the wildest, cringiest, and most salacious stories from people's time in comedy. Don't laugh at me. Today we have a very special guest, very, very talented stand-up comedian based out of LA. It is Andrew Orolfo.
Did y'all fight before this?
We did.
I'm so confused.
We did.
Don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
We did. We had a little fight about the production setup of the cameras, and we've just been.
It's on Instagram.
It's like one of those fights where you're not fighting about the actual thing you're fighting about. You know, you're like, let's just bring up 10
What
years
were we
worth of
fighting
shit.
about?
I don't know. Maybe maybe it's about the light box. Maybe it's about how you talk to me in a certain tone.
Which is sort of the light box of the heart.
Yeah, exactly. So
Tone.
yeah, I mean, great. I'm so glad you can tell.
No, I can't. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, you know,
I'm kidding.
it's so funny because people will like leave podcast reviews, you know,
Mm.
for us, and
Really?
most of ours are like, yeah, you can really tell they've been like friends for years. You know?
I guess you can really tell they've been fighting.
But now it's gonna be like, wow, these two hosts hate each other.
Ooh,
You
there's
know,
something
like
going
it's-
on.
Yeah,
There's a riff.
Yeah.
The next comment's like, I love how
Yeah.
they hit each other.
Yeah.
You know? It's so
Yeah.
fun.
Have they
Do you-
always been like this?
Well, you have a podcast too. Do you guys get weird reviews? The Meter, check it out. Very fun.
Oh, thank you. No weird reviews.
People
I'm
like
gonna
us.
start leaving weird reviews on your YouTube videos.
No, we have like the comments we get are kind of like
Yeah.
fun.
Okay, they're like-
people are very supportive and
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a lot of suggestions.
Okay. Ooh.
A lot of,
yeah.
lot of
You're
people,
like,
lot of
keep
people
it to
trying to
yourself. Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
then some of the content we do like not in the podcast, but like some of like the just like man on the street stuff.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't realize you guys were doing that.
Yeah, some. And then
Nice.
those comments are just like about like shitting on like
Oh, the people that are
in
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Nothing on us, you know.
Oh, do you like the man on the street stuff? I feel like that's kind of stressful. Like, I don't know. I think they're funny when they're mean, but then it's also like
Yeah.
you don't want to be mean.
No,
you know?
the ways
Yeah.
ours is set up is like it's dumb content.
Okay, so
And
it's low
we're not
stakes.
being mean to anybody.
Yeah.
We're not. It's just like
Yeah.
people just. It's easy for people to digest.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And is it
It's
still
not funny.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's actually just video recording
Yeah, it's
footage.
just-
Yeah.
You know, it's like clickbaity. It's nothing. It's not funny at all. And all the stuff that I like on Instagram and like TikTok,
Yeah.
I don't think it's funny at all. I just think it's like
just there.
I just like it's just interesting for me
Yeah.
to watch like somebody asking like what animal is this?
Yeah.
You know, it's not
okay.
necessarily funny,
Yeah,
but
it's
for some
just-
reason I like it.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
makes us feel human. You know,
Yeah.
not everything has to be funny.
Yeah,
you know?
I play along. I'm like, yeah, that is a rhinoceros,
Well,
you know?
So, do you on the man on the street stuff? Do you guys still ask about because the whole premise of your podcast is the IMDb star meter? Is that what you
Mhm.
guys are asking on the streets about?
Sometimes it's like, yeah, who's in the top 100 right now?
Oh, okay, okay.
And then it's never who you think it is.
yeah, never.
You know? And then
Never.
like one time someone was like Denzel, which is like, yeah, he probably should be.
but yeah,
But he was like 800, and then people in the comments were like, "That how is that like
possible.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay,
so what's
interesting.
how does this work?
Oh yeah, explain it. It's very fun.
So
it's, very fun.
it's a game show based around the Star Meter on IMDb, which is a official ranking of actors in Hollywood.
Of
So,
like
like,
all time?
Yeah.
all dead, alive,
Oh.
and it
there's-
changes.
every week,
Mhm.
and it's 12 million people, and like everyone has like a specific number. Like
Yeah.
you have one probably, she has one, I have one,
Yeah,
and it's
it
just
was
a whole game
embarrassing.
around that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
That
very
does sound fun.
and you have to guess like who's in the top, and you would be. I got really competitive. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Everybody
Like,
gets competitive.
And
with
it
certain-
changes?
every week. Yeah. So the top 10 it's usually if you have something out right now.
So it's kind of topical.
It's very
Yeah.
topical.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
All right,
like
that
what's
makes more. That
trending.
makes more
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
'cause
obviously Leo's gonna be in like the top 100 all the time, but
Yeah.
sometimes he won't be just because he's not working for like a month.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly the stress of staying relevant is a weird.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't have it, but like, you know what I mean? For people I imagine who are like in it, like once you think like you've made it, then it's like that's when you
Oh,
press
yeah.
the gas, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Leo, if he's I have to say because I thought of it, but
Yeah.
if he's out of it, that's because he's in the top 23 year old.
No.
Well, 20. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't date. I thought
Over
it was over
26.
25.
That's a
but,
category
okay.
we did.
Once
Yeah.
they hit 25 or 26.
Yeah, that is a weird thing that
He's
he
out of
needs to
there.
stop for
Yeah.
sure.
He's out of there.
Yeah.
That was a category you guys had once, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was just actors under the age of 25.
Oh, I thought you meant actors. There are people he's dated.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah,
that might be.
it's a
that
list.
might be.
It's a
Yeah,
list.
I'm
I'm
like
a-
Blake
I'll-
Lively.
I'll write
I'm
that down.
Like,
yeah.
and again, Denzel is
Yeah.
like 800.
You're like weird. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I was fascinated with it too because I didn't realize like that just didn't seem like something that you would be intrigued by, like based off of knowing you. Like I was
Yeah.
like, because I don't know, I love IMDb, but I'm also like the kid that like knows everything about every single Disney actor and everything they've been in.
Oh, that's so fun.
And I
True.
just thought that you would be like whatever about it, but it was so funny to watch you
Yeah.
like be really into this thing.
Because I saw it one day and I would just play
Yeah.
it in my car with like
Yeah.
because we wouldn't
Kill
play
time.
we wouldn't play the game because that game is like new. 'Cause
Yeah.
But the game in the car whenever I drive to the bay with somebody,
Yeah.
we'd try to see like who's the first person
Yeah.
that could get like in the top 10 and it would take
Mhm.
hours
Oh.
because we would
Everyone's trying to guess.
Yeah,
And okay.
because now
that's so
knowing
fun.
how the algorithm works,
Yeah.
it's very
Ooh.
rare to get
Yeah.
someone in the
Now
top
I want
10.
to look at this. I'm
It's
very
really you guys
curious.
need to watch this.
I'm
It's
very
very
curious.
fun. I'm a loyal listener.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am. It's so
Thank you.
fun. Speaking of the Bay, is that where you originally started comedy, or did you? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
born and raised there, started
Nice.
comedy there.
And then how long were you doing it up there before you moved to LA?
Started in 2012, moved out here 2019, so
Oh,
like 7
wow.
years.
Okay. What was your like first impression when you moved out here? Like, were you nervous? Did you like it? Hate it?
Well, when I moved, it was fine
Mm-hmm.
because I had moved because I did something,
Okay.
so I wasn't as scared. But
Did something like had a credit or something?
yeah,
Okay.
I got late night from the Bay,
Nice.
and then I moved
That's
here
huge.
the week before I taped, so I knew I was gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
But I
Oh, wow.
moved. Yeah, I moved
Yeah.
right before the week before I taped.
That's
and
awesome.
So the transition wasn't too
Yeah.
bad.
And had you been down before a few times as well?
Yeah,
or-
it
okay.
took. I want to say it took me like because I'd always drive in,
Mhm.
and I would go through the grapevine, and I would
Mm,
just be shitting my pants every time.
really.
Yeah, it took me a while to be like, okay, I like this, but like it took like 7 trips where I was like, okay, I know enough people now. But
Damn.
before,
Wow, yeah.
every time I'd come here, I'd be terrified. It was like
Yeah.
the worst feeling. Honestly, I hated it.
I kind of moved down a little blindly. Like I knew a few
Yeah.
people, but yeah, I think it does make a difference when you have a network here
Yeah.
and come a few times to visit because I feel like at least just having somebody to like hang on to at a mic or at a, or at a
Exactly.
show,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like that sounds fucked
Yeah.
up, but just like not feeling so alone in such a
Yeah.
big scene is a big part of it.
Because I was the first one out of my friend group to move, so
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
that's tough.
alone, and it
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always like to be the one to rip the Band-Aid off is like,
Mhm.
and then everyone's asking you questions
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
yeah.
But now I love it. I don't hate it here at all.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
lot.
I know. I love it here. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, we talked about this a lot in our last episode, but like I feel like a lot of people try to scare me off of moving to LA.
Mhm.
And now that I'm here, I'm just like, why was I
Yeah,
like why was I
no.
terrified? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what does it matter, you know?
I guess for a lot
Yeah.
of stand up, it's like the stage 7 isn't the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
But living wise, it's so nice.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all got a yard.
I
you
know. It's sunny. It's
Yeah.
like, the temperate climate most of the year except for the snow we
Mhm.
had. But yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, it is funny whenever people are like, "How do you like living there?" I'm like, "Oh, I love living there.
Yeah.
Comedy's fucking weird, and I
Well-
haven't found a groove, but living there is great."
Yeah,
Like, I have a great
living here's
time.
so fun. There's
Yeah.
like I went the other day. I went to a club. I don't do that, by the way.
Okay,
I just
I was literally about to be like, what? I'm gonna let him finish his sentence. I was literally like
But-
about to jump in.
I went to a
my-
club,
Yeah.
sandwich
my
place.
my friend had if my friend has bottle service, I'll go.
Yeah.
So to get in, we had to go through like what's it called? An ATM machine, like the ATM machine.
Oh, it's like a speakeasy kind of thing. Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
That's
here,
fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like
You had to
At first I thought you
rob
meant,
a bank.
like metal detector, but then
Yeah.
ATM. So I was like,
I
oh,
did
they
too.
like-
That's what
Like
you-
the
Like-
ATM opens up.
I was gonna say, I've
Yeah.
heard of a
Go
cover
through it.
fee, but I've never heard of them
Yeah.
walking
Yeah.
you to the ATM.
Yeah, they're like, all right, you have to
they're-
pay $8,000.
You pull out your wallet, they go, you're not gonna have enough
What's
cash.
your limit?
Just
Yeah.
trust me, no one ever has enough
Yeah.
cash.
But there's a lot of those out here that I never saw in like San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
Mm.
Seattle was just so lame in terms of like anything like going out or
Sugar
even-
Hill's dope. Shout out Sugar Hill.
That's like the one place that's fun. But I don't know. That was what I was most nervous about, was that I wasn't going to actually like the city. And so I'm like, okay, at least I'm moving down here to do something that I love. So that'll be hopefully like I'll enjoy it enough that that'll be the saving grace.
Yeah.
But LA is cool. Like there's always
Yeah.
something to do. You could just go to the
Oh, yeah.
beach. I'll walk by new restaurants all the time. Like, I don't know. It's fun to be in a big city because I've never had that opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah. I will say though, I don't love the Bay.
Oh, why? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
In theory, like in my head, I would love the Bay
theory,
so
I love
much.
bays.
No, like
Okay.
as a descriptor, right? Like you're on the water. Like there's also
Right.
fun things to do. Great food scene. Like
Okay.
awesome. Like beautiful
Seals?
architecture. Right.
Right.
Sharks.
But I like last
Alcatraz?
time I was up there, I was just like, this reminds me like of a worse Seattle.
I can see that.
And I just hated it so. Like I had a good time,
Interesting.
but I was like, I could never live here. Like I literally
Okay.
had a moment where I was like, I cannot wait to go home to LA, and that was like the first time I like
Interesting.
associated.
Where,
LA being
I love
home.
the Bay. So
were you in SF or where were you staying?
I was like staying like across the water, but like thank God, because I don't remember what part of town it was called.
I mean,
but I was
across
staying
the
with a
water is
friend.
either Oakland or like
Alcatraz.
It was
Sausalito.
across one of the bridges. I don't know, but I remember like there was one night I was driving in and it was just like a huge hill, and then I was driving by Salesforce and I was like, oh, this is just Seattle on crack. Like I just was like, I
see
can't.
that. I can see that.
I just don't. I didn't love it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
That's
it's
fine.
it's
You don't
fun. I
have
still
to-
had fun and stuff.
Shots
but
fired.
I would never. I don't think. be able
I
to
love
live in
it.
the
Like
Bay.
if I didn't have to move here, I would stay there.
Yeah. What part of the Bay did you grow up in?
Oakland and then
Okay.
Concord after
Yeah,
that.
okay.
But so all East Bay, but
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like East Bay is like
Cooler. I feel
More
like.
chill, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Like Oakland, I guess would be like Brooklyn or like
Oh, true. Yeah.
whatever, and then SF
Yeah.
is like Manhattan or whatever.
Yeah, maybe that's why I didn't love it, because it was almost too city. Like I don't know how
Right.
to explain it. Like, I
Right,
just,
right.
No, I know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought about that recently too, because I'm going to New York. Well, I want to go back to the Bay soon, but going to New York, I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, do I like? Is
But
it not?
see,
Is
I
it not
love
as
New
exciting
York.
anymore?
I love New York, and I don't know why, because
do-
on
New York
paper I
is
would
fun.
hate New York.
I do like. That's the thing. I do like New York, but now the thought of just being around that many people constantly,
Right.
I'm just
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
it's not. Now I
Yeah.
think about it more
Right.
than I used to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never done
need
comedy
space.
in New York.
I need
though.
to run.
Yeah, I know.
Let me loose.
On the streets like a rat.
I gotta get
Yeah.
out there. I'm like a
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah. Do you know who Kevin Carpet is? I'm gonna
No.
blow
Did
your
his,
guys'
did his
minds
grandfather
later.
invent carpets?
He's a guy in New York
Okay.
who rolls himself up in a carpet
Okay.
and then just puts himself in places. It gets worse. And then people just walk over him. And he will like move sometimes, like to, freak people out. And
Right.
he's like adamant that it's not a kink. And I'm like, it's
Wait.
a kink.
He
Like,
Oh, yeah, maybe.
He rolls himself up in a carpet,
Yeah.
or he goes
he,
flat,
He rolls himself up in a carpet.
and then
And then he'll just go to bars and be in the middle of the walkway at bars. And people are like,
standing
Kevin.
or
no,
laying?
down.
that's pretty sick.
No, it's
That's
absolutely.
New
This
York,
is why
baby.
I can't live in New York.
That's
No.
New York.
No.
We got Kevin
No.
Carpet over here.
Yeah. I'm like,
we got Donnie Drapes.
New
It's just a
Yorkers-
guy.
That's a guy.
yeah,
out of the
yeah.
Oh, is it sun in your eyes?
Yeah. And I'm like, New Yorkers just love to suffer. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
There is definitely a thing where New York people. Actually, I just edited
Mm-hmm.
a Soder clip where he was talking about it. He was like, I liked that. He was like, when I
Mhm.
moved there, I liked you'd be walking, someone would be like, get the fuck out of the way, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I am bad, I am the
Right.
worst. But that
Yeah.
is where it's. But that's
Yeah.
kind of what I like too. Is it's like people
Mhm.
don't. There's so many people.
Right.
They don't care.
Right.
about you specifically in the sense
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
if you like you're like, oh, I'm in the way. Oh, especially being a Midwesterner, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and it's like, no, it's fine. Just move on.
I'm not sorry.
Just move on. I say, no, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I feel like though I don't know, maybe you were the first one, so maybe this isn't like maybe you don't have this feeling, but I feel like there was this like big exodus from the Bay Area of like really talented comics coming down to LA. Like I feel like maybe you were in that group of like
I think I was.
yeah, because when
for
I
sure.
went up there, they were sort of like, "Oh yeah, all the best comics moved to LA recently," and I'm like, "Oh okay." Like, it's like great, yeah.
A group of us moved all around the same time. I mean,
Yeah.
like I moved first, and then the pandemic happened.
Oh,
so
yeah,
but then as soon as it's over, everybody else came.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
it was fine.
It's kind of wild. I feel like that's happening like with Seattle right now.
Oh, where are they going?
Yeah,
Are they going here?
Yeah, here some people are like I think fewer are going to New York. I think it's just easier to go to
Yeah.
LA and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think more people are just ready. And I don't know if that's because people were like confronted with something like emotionally after the pandemic
Yeah.
or something. But like, no, really, I truly think people were like, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I was ready to go for a long time. I just didn't have the gumption in me, I
Yeah.
think. But I'm glad that I stayed because I feel like I built a lot of material,
Right.
you know.
How long were
so.
you there?
I was born and raised,
Okay.
but I started comedy in 2015, and
Okay.
yeah. So I was a good chunk of change into comedy when
Yeah.
I already came down here. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like Seattle. Nice place.
It's beautiful. It is. Yeah, no, I
Talking
hate
shit
it,
on
but
my
it is
city.
beautiful.
I
Yeah.
love your city.
whenever someone asks me where I should go, I say Seattle.
Yeah. I don't. I actually don't love it. I'll talk shit about my own place too. Fuck it. Try me, Andrew. You know. But so okay, you said 2012 then?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So I'm sure you have some crazy stories for us. It's been enough time.
Yeah.
That's what the year I graduated high school. That's so funny.
2012?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I graduated
Yeah.
2009.
Oh, hell yeah.
2010.
Oh, okay. There you go.
all
We
right.
all could have gone to high school together.
We got some old people in
Okay, all right, that's a way to look at it.
Now I feel
Yeah.
bad. No, what was it? What was you saying? What was that?
Your story, if you'd like to.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's so many. I'll do the
Go run through them.
I
I'll do
know.
the fun wholesome one.
Oh, okay.
Can I do a wholesome one, or is it
You
have
can
to
do
be?
whatever
You can do
you
multiple
want.
if you
want.
want.
You could do both.
Sad.
You could
As
pick
long as
your
they're
own
not like
adventure.
hour-long stories.
Yeah.
I'll do the wholesome one.
Cute.
This is at my home club at the Punchline.
Hell yeah.
It was my birthday,
Nice. When's your birthday?
March 25th,
Okay. Hell yeah.
and at the Punchline in San Francisco, every Sunday is like the locals' day. Everybody gets all the only locals get to go up, or
It's
if
the
like you're out of
mic
town.
night.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's technically not a mic, but if you're
Oh, okay.
established, you can like treat it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it is like a night where it's like, I think like 15 or some comics, and you don't know when you go up.
Yeah.
The booker just kind of taps you and be like, "Can you go up next?"
Mhm.
And that's kind of like your way into working the Punchline is through that showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you've never gone up, but you sit there for like months. You have to
Watching.
go
That's what
every
I've
Sunday
heard. Yeah.
and sit there, and you don't know when you're gonna go up, and they're like,
Mhm.
"Can you do 5 like now?" And then you have to just be ready. And if
Mhm.
you do well, then you just keep moving up. And people hate that system. People hate that system, but I don't mind it, just because if you go through that system and you wait, you end up with
Yeah.
4 clubs, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And are they tapping people they know are doing well in the scene, or are they just sort of like you've been showing up?
You've been kind of showing up because the
Okay.
booker doesn't always go to shows
Right.
around.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like if you show up. So anyone, if you just sit, I've seen people go there who don't mic, but just know that's like the process.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they just like go up for their first time ever there just because they sat there for 6 to
Ah,
9 months.
That seems
Wild.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and
I
it's
mean,
fun.
also that seems like someone just getting into comedy.
Yeah.
You know, it was also like we were talking about last
Mhm.
time. It's like people don't know. All they see is like what's on TV.
Mhm.
You know, so they don't know about the smaller shows, about the mics, about all that.
Right.
So I mean, I did my first mic at a club because I was
Yeah.
like, this
Mhm.
is this is it. This is
Right.
where you do it, and then
Yeah.
found out, oh, there's other mics, there's this and that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
that's a good point.
but
The
I mean,
thing- yeah.
but to ignore all of that information for close to a year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
Be like,
they
I'm
could've-
just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
That's definitely a choice. That's
Yeah.
definitely a choice.
It's a cool club though. It's
Very
the
cool. Yeah.
I did that Sunday one once,
Oh, cool.
and it was like electric. Like
Yeah.
it's a fun room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that showcase, when we were there, we kind of, like, me and my friend group were kind of the ones who we made it weird. Like, we would
Mm.
fuck around all the time. Like, because me and my friends kind of, like, when you're, like, at the top, you can kind of just, like, get away. And our friend
You mean on stage you'd fuck around, or like
off stage
off-
too. Like, we would do weird stuff. like I'll get to the story, but some of the weirder shit we would do is, like, if we knew, because our friend was the booker,
Yeah.
because he was a comic first, and then
Oh,
he
okay,
used to run a
okay.
show, and then he'd been around forever, and we were, like, friends with him. So I was friends with him first before
Yeah.
whatever. So we all had, like, this,
You have a different
this
relationship.
relationship, yeah. and he would just allow us to, like, fuck around, and,
Yeah.
like, I would come in with, like, bingo cards
No.
sometimes. Because sometimes you could tell what would go down. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Oh, Salesforce Tower jokes.
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Mhm.
homeless jokes.
I love that.
marriage jokes. So I would me
Yeah,
and my
you love
friends.
homeless jokes.
No, I love a bingo card. I love a bingo. Yeah.
So, or, like, impressions. So sometimes we'd have, like, a bingo, like, I'd just bring in stuff and just be like,
Yeah.
whoever wins gets a fucking t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Or a glass. And
I love that.
we do weird shit. Like, one time we knew Daoud
Mhm.
Namyar. We knew he was going to go up. We locked him in the green room right before his set.
No.
So he heard coming to the stage
No.
Daoud Namyar, and we just locked the green room, and he wasn't able to get out until we let him out. Yeah.
That is so.
Yeah, we do random shit
How
like
long
that.
did you keep him in there?
Enough for it to be awkward. You know?
Oh,
Like,
so he still made that set.
oh yeah, he definitely made the set, but
That's hilarious.
That's
he
insane.
came up way later
So
than
funny.
he should have. Yeah, weird shit like that, because there'd be, like, a god mic in the
You
back, so
have to
sometimes
make
I'd
it
fuck
fun.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do these things called joke parade, which is
Okay.
at some, like, once a month or a special occasion. Every single comic, whoever wants to go up, can go up
Okay.
at the end of
Oh.
the night after the showcase, but you can only tell, like, a street joke, and it can't
Okay.
be your joke. It has to be someone.
Oh.
It has to be someone else's joke,
Interesting.
and then we just, like, roast them
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
We do weird, random shit like
I
that.
mean, you kind of need that because
Yeah.
mics can be so tedious
yeah.
and annoying to go to.
Yeah.
But it's like when you can really like have fun with your friends.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like, one time, sometimes when the booker would go up,
Yeah.
and then because he would run the light as well. So one night when he got his light, literally we made every single comic put up their phone. So it looked like a concert, and we lit up like that.
It's so funny.
Yeah, we like
Y'all are goofballs.
good.
yeah, we fuck around. Like,
yeah.
I don't. Did you ever do? You didn't do the Pier 69 show.
Mm-mm.
We had this show every Tuesday, and the room's so small
Yeah.
that the light, like, you could easily see it. Like, even if it's just like your just your screen.
Yeah.
So for those, when it was our friends, we do weird lights because you could see the phone. It's
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
room's that small. It's
Yeah.
only seats like 25 people.
Yeah.
So we, like, sometimes if our friend was up, he was just got out of a breakup, and his light was a picture of his ex-girlfriend.
No. Y'all are rotted. Oh my god.
That's demon time.
That is
Yeah.
so
That's
fucking
demon.
funny.
We would do
time.
that. Sometimes we pull up porn and just play it in the back.
That's
depending.
That's what I was
hilarious.
waiting on.
That's
I was like,
hilarious.
I wonder
Yeah.
how long it takes.
Well, also I feel like it keeps people on their toes too. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
It's
that's
so
always
fun.
fun.
then
Yeah.
One time we had one of my favorite light we ever did was Mark held up the Twin Towers, and then I on my phone I had a plane. We just
No.
touch phones.
No,
Yeah.
y'all are actually going to hell. It's so fun.
Yeah, no,
I can't wait
it was
to
a
see
good
you
time.
there. Yeah,
It was fun. It was a good time.
Do you do anything like that at Motherland? The show you guys run down here?
No, not so much. Not
Yeah.
fun. I mean, like occasionally, like
Yeah.
I'll chime in on the God mic,
Yeah.
or we'll do something weird up
Yeah.
top. But no, we kind of
That's a fun show
That's
too.
so fun.
yeah.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves. It drives me fucking insane. Well, I might have said it on here before, but when producers use a light that's too bright for
Yeah.
the situation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it distracts everybody.
Well, I mean, with
even audience members turn
Yeah.
around. They're like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just wave your phone. Like, especially
No,
if
I
you're in a
agree.
room where it's like, all right,
Mhm.
when they went on stage, when you're on stage, you can see the back of the room. Like,
Right.
it's not that dark.
Mhm.
Like, you
Right.
can see someone's moving, whatever. You can see that. And it's
Right.
like if a producer goes up and does like a host set and then comes back and then still uses a bright ass light, it's
Yeah.
like, remember when
Yeah.
you were up there?
Yeah.
You don't fucking need a spotlight.
Right.
You don't need to
Well,
like do your fucking cell phone.
with
just
the
like
Andrew
you said.
Orolfo system, you know you're seeing that light. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
If
waiting
it's
for
the
it. I'm
Twin
looking. I
Towers,
say, what's
you
it gonna
know?
be?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's just a good time.
I also
Yeah.
like that as like an idea of if it happened today, like that would be the charade way of telling someone
yeah,
something
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're up there doing a speech and you can't like
Yeah.
interrupt, but you'll be
Yeah.
like, hold it up.
Yeah.
Boom. And they're
Go,
like,
go
"Oh."
longer. We don't have the checks
Yeah,
out
yeah,
yet.
stretch,
Yeah,
stretch. Stretch about
Yeah.
9/11.
Yeah. So stupid.
funny.
Oh my god.
That's
Okay,
wild.
so you guys were the crew then.
Yeah,
You guys
we had a
were
bad
the,
boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
bad boys of the
pranksters.
Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We fucked around. It was very fun.
That's so. Are you guys all in LA now?
Yeah.
That whole crew. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's fun.
I think one of us might move to New York.
Ooh.
You don't know who yet? You're all
No,
gonna,
we
Yeah,
do-
you're
we're,
all
we're,
gonna
just, we're
decide.
still deciding.
We
Put
do.
a bunch of names in a hat.
Yeah.
No, we do know. But yeah, it's because he says a wife, so he's
Oh,
gonna
bummer.
They want to live
Yeah,
together.
you got to kick him out of the
Yeah.
group. You get exiled to New
Yeah.
York. That's
Well, it was his idea for the Twin Towers
Yeah.
thing. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, now you have
Now
to
you
go
have to
live
go.
there.
Yeah.
Now you have to go
Yeah.
visit.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh my god, hilarious. Wait, was that your whole son
No,
story?
No, the
it
story,
continues.
but it's part of that. It's part
Yeah.
of like the punchline. On my birthday one year, I was just like having a good time. I didn't think I was gonna go up because
Yeah.
I went up the week prior, and I was just like having a good time. It was my birthday. It was a good birthday.
Yeah.
And usually I show up to the punchline in the beginning just because I like hanging out.
Yeah.
But it was my birthday, so I was like, oh, I'll go in late, and I'm not going up. I'm just chilling.
Right.
Just
Phone in one
hang
end.
out. Yeah. So I get there like 30 minutes late, and then the booker was like, "Hey, you wanna go up?"
You're plastered.
No, I wasn't. I was
Okay,
was
you were
sober.
just-
I was
okay,
just, I was
okay.
just chilling.
I thought you were just having a good time.
Yeah, I was just chilling, and then I go up on stage, and the host did something weird up front. Like before he introed me, he's like, "Hey, it's actually kind of hot up here, so I'm gonna like take off my jacket real quick before I bring up your next comedian." And I was
Oh.
like, "Okay, weird." I mean, I knew the guy. I was like, "He's a weird guy. Maybe he just like did that." I was like, "Okay, fine." And then I go on stage, and then my first joke, literal silence, like
Oh.
nothing,
Okay.
like zero.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do another few minutes, and then nothing, like dead quiet.
Okay.
Yeah,
They planned. They schemed.
yeah. For my
Okay.
birthday, and then I'm just not. I'm doing my whole like. I'm like 2 minutes in. I'm like, I'm not getting any laughs. I'm like panicking.
Are the comics laughing in the back?
No.
Oh,
They're in on this.
damn, that's an
Yeah.
inside job.
Yeah, and then yeah, I was just so nervous. I was sweating, and I was wearing yeah, it was my birthday, and I didn't think I was doing anything, so I was wearing like a fur coat. I was chilling. I was just wearing a.
Andrew.
I was feeling it. I was
You
just
got the
like,
day off for.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I had a fur coat on that was like cool that I got from like Urban Outfitters.
Yeah.
You
A
were
bit- a
Dr.
hat-
Dre.
A
I don't
hat
know.
with a
You
long
were-
ass feather in it, a nice cane. You know, I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, and then I'm like straight up bombing, like zero.
Oh my
And
God.
then as a not even as like a joke, but as like a when you say something to try to save the set, like oh
Mhm.
this all new stuff or something
yeah,
like that. And then I was just like, as a joke, I was just like, are you guys playing a fucking prank on me?
Oh.
And then as soon as I said that, the whole room
started like
like
erupted.
erupting.
Yeah, that's
because they
funny.
knew it. They because I called
so
it.
they planned this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess before I got there, the host and they planned. They were like, okay, I'm gonna take off my jacket, and when I take off
Okay.
my jacket, everybody go silent.
Oh my god.
That's what I was gonna be. I was gonna be like, is that?
It was
It
the
was that.
signal.
That was a signal.
But you know what?
Yeah.
You're really lucky that they were all in on it and could hold their laughs because knowing me, I would have been laughing. Like, I
Yeah.
would've been
Well, that's
the
why I
only
was
one.
asking if the comics were laughing in the back.
Yeah.
Because if we were
No.
doing that to a friend, one, that'd be
We'd
very
be
funny.
losing our
But if
shit.
it was that quiet, I'd be like, damn,
Yeah.
this is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the coat thing, I was gonna be like, was it like a bit, or was there more? Or is he just like, I'm taking off my coat?
Yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
my god.
so yeah, that makes sense.
I
That's
love
funny.
that they like knew it was your birthday. You were gonna be
Yeah.
having a good time, and then they were like, "Let's psychologically
Yeah.
torture
Yeah.
Andrew."
It's on YouTube too.
Really?
Oh wait,
It's
you'll
on
have to
YouTube.
send us the
Oh,
video.
yeah.
We'll put it in. We'll put it in.
Yeah, it
and-
was. I mean, I never wore the coat ever again. After that, I never wore it ever again.
It's a
I feel like
bad luck
it's such
for.
a bad memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice because after it was like a whole birthday thing, and
It's a
they
sign
sang
of
"Happy
love.
Birthday"
Yeah.
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 and
Yeah.
stuff like. Oh, you know who actually planned Torio?
No, that
It was
feels like a
Torio.
Torio.
That's
prank.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It was Torio and someone else. Torio and somebody else did the coat
Yeah.
thing, I think.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That is so funny. Love
Yeah.
Torio, another great Bay Area comic.
Yeah.
I love also that you were like, this person did something weird, but they're just weird. Like, I
Yeah.
love that they also like that didn't set you off. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
you were like, I'm starting to be suspicious
Yeah.
after a while.
Well, that's the thing. If it's a host who is already a weird person,
Yeah.
and then they do something, if it was like your friend who it's like, I know
Yeah.
you know how to host, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't just say, oh, I'm going to take off my jacket and then
Yeah.
move on. But if it's like a weird person, it's like, yeah, you don't really understand how comedy works.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
like you're just going to do
well,
whatever
I
you
love
want.
the thing that tipped him off is that no one's laughing at these brilliant jokes.
No,
you
'cause
know?
it was like-
it's like you're doing baked material.
Because
you know?
also it was, I think it was a
Yeah.
3-day weekend. So
Yeah.
when it's a 3-day weekend, the Sunday is just the best. It's
okay.
like packed.
Okay.
Those are the best nights. And the person
Yeah.
before me was crushing.
Okay.
Like
Do you remember who it was?
Yes, I'm not gonna say who it is, but it was the best I've ever seen them do.
Jerry Seinfeld.
They were destroying.
And you were like,
And I was
got this.
on the side. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
got
I'll
this.
go up. I got
I
this.
got this. And I was just like, I'm just gonna do the hits. I'm gonna do the hits, and it was like, whoa. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
It's funny how quickly that thought can change.
yeah.
Because if you go in thinking that, and then
Yeah.
if you obviously you don't, it's not crickets, but like
Yeah.
you still don't do as well as you thought you would,
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
be like, well, of course, if they like that fucking person, then they're not gonna
Yeah.
like me.
Right,
But,
right,
but
right.
going up, it's like the completely different thing. And then it's
Yeah.
like when you get curved, like when dudes get curved by a girl, and they're like, well, fuck you, you're not hot
Yeah,
anyways.
you have buck teeth.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. It's like
yeah.
going in, you're
Yeah.
like, I got this. And
Yeah.
afterwards, you're like, I didn't even want to make you
Yeah.
laugh, so
Yeah.
fuck off.
Well, it's good that the hardest you've ever bombed was a prank. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
right.
like
Ew.
that, at least
Yeah.
that can be like
Yeah.
your worst
Yeah.
story.
And then I acknowledged it. Everybody laughed, and then
Yeah.
the set was like so fun after that.
Oh my
'cause I
God,
just did like
fun.
Did you run it back? I would have been like, we're gonna try this shit again.
No.
You got to run with it, I think, at
Because
that
these are
point.
good jokes.
Yeah.
No, it was so. The funnest part of that was like I did this joke in the beginning, and someone said something like super racist, just like not even like
yeah,
on
so
accident.
you were calling back to.
Yeah, and then I was like, so was the racist thing part of the prank too, or is that just like you? And he was just like a racist guy.
You're like, because now it's seeming a little fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't think that part was necessary.
Yeah.
You really gave him a,
Yeah.
a generous
Yeah.
opportunity there.
Yeah,
That
That's
is
hilarious.
so funny.
yeah.
Tell us more about, so in the Bay Area, I feel like there's a really traditional club system.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a system.
yeah, there's nothing like that in Seattle. And
Okay.
it is, I know that Seattle's just a different
Mhm.
scene, but like it was so intriguing to me when I went up to the Bay. And like, is it that like there's one person that owns like 4 clubs?
Live Nation.
Live Nation.
They own
Yeah.
all
But
the
it's
clubs.
different bookers for each club, but they own all 4.
No,
of
all the
them.
same booker.
All same booker.
All the same
Okay,
booker.
Okay.
Even the one in Philadelphia.
oh,
same booker. Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Maybe-
Okay.
Maybe not
hmm
same booker for hosts, but
Yeah.
for feature and
Yeah.
headliner, it's all the same.
Okay.
It's all the same.
Intriguing. And then basically you just keep showing up, hopefully get like
Mhm.
audition to host, cold open, whatever.
Yeah, cold open, is that a thing in Seattle too?
No.
No.
Okay,
It's more
so
LA.
I've only seen it
it's
here.
more
I've
LA.
never seen it
Yeah.
anywhere
Yeah.
else but here. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you sit there for 6 months to a year, and then you get
Mhm.
up, and that doesn't mean you're like past or anything. That just means
Right.
you're
You
in
got
the
up.
yeah. It just
Yeah.
means you're in the rotation now, and you get to go up every 3 months, and then after that, after every 3 months, then they'll end up putting you up every month, and then after, and if you're better, if you're
Right.
good, then
Right.
the process goes by a lot faster.
At least there's a process,
Yeah.
though.
So once you find out that you're getting up like once a month or once every 2 weeks, or
Mhm.
sometimes you'll even get up like once a week every Sunday,
Yeah.
then you know you're kind of close to
In
getting
it.
Mm.
Okay.
past. And
Yeah.
then, and a lot of people hate the system, but it is a clear.
It's more
it-
clear cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it kind of weaves out like people that aren't really that committed,
Mm-hmm.
then just
Yeah.
bounce.
That is true, because it's like
Mhm.
you're putting up these barriers to see like who actually wants to stick
Mhm.
around.
Mhm.
A little bit of that is important,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a lot of people who like, I think like Seattle's like a perfect example of
Yeah.
like you get a lot of people who are like hobby comics,
Yeah.
and the scene isn't that big, so they get
Yeah.
a ton of stage time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then they like go to other scenes and they're like, it's just so weird that
Yeah.
I can't get and it's like
Yeah.
it's not weird. Like it's
Yeah.
not weird that you can't get booked anywhere else,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's intriguing. But and then so once you get past, like that's passed as a feature.
No, you passed as a
Or
host.
passed as a
And
host.
I only
Okay.
just recently got passed as a feature.
Damn.
I'm-
After all these years.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's fine,
Yeah.
but it's like
Yeah.
'cause
Because you
I was a
headline.
child when I started. Well, not a child. I was like
Yeah.
a kid. I was
Yeah.
like 21 when I was hung
Yeah.
out there. So it's kind of I don't know. I feel like your home club is harder on you than
Yeah.
everywhere else,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because they've seen you.
Yes. They've seen
a-
you bomb the hardest. They've also seen you do,
Yeah.
hopefully your best stuff. But
Yeah, but
Mhm.
yeah, you get past. People hate it, but you do get past that.
Yeah.
Technically, you get past that Cobb's Punchline, Sacramento Punchline, and then Philadelphia Punchline.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do Philadelphia, you can.
Mhm.
And also, Live Nation owns a bunch of theaters. So like when, say, for example, like Gary Goldman was doing a tour,
Mhm.
they would pull from the Punchline roster.
That's
so
awesome.
host.
Oh.
So you get those
Yeah.
too.
Well, that's what astounded me about the Bay Area scene is I was like, there's a lot of shows for like, it doesn't feel like there's more comics than LA, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, but there's an astounding amount of shows and theater shows
Mhm.
and small rooms
Yeah.
and cool like indie theaters. And I was just like amazed. And
Tech, baby.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, everything. That's
Yeah.
when everything changed. Like I remember the change. Like,
yeah,
because like 2015, you could still see like weirdos, like like those like weird old punk rock dudes are still doing
Mhm.
comedy, and they're kind of
Mhm.
like shitty.
okay.
And then when tech came in, everything changed
Mm.
because everyone who started doing comedy after 2016 was rich. Everyone
Mm.
was just so professional because they had been working in a tech space or an office space.
Okay,
So all the new
interesting.
comics were just like so young, so cool, and very nice. But I mean, like, yes, a lot of people
Yeah.
got moved out and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
the scene like grew like
Mm.
in a weird way where there's
Yeah.
like barely any open mics now because it's not profitable to
It's
that's-
more showcase shows.
yeah. So it became like since everybody was so professional, everybody knew how to make money,
Right.
Yeah.
and since San Francisco's like the tech place
Mhm.
or like one of the tech
People have
places.
disposable income.
Yeah. So a lot of the shows like Monday through Sunday were just getting sold out by like these
Damn.
young people who have like Coke money, who go
Yeah.
out during like
Yeah.
the week because it's all young people.
Yeah. I mean, it is fun to perform up there. Like,
Yeah.
truly, it is like, there's something special. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just, you go and every single show I did was pretty much sold out. Like,
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah, there's
and
way more shows than Mike's because it was easier.
it was like, I was hopping, I had to turn down shows.
Yeah.
Like, I've never like had
Yeah.
to do that in any other scene. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Social media works so well out there just because it's just like everybody's on it there.
Yeah.
It's like where it's
Yeah.
everybody works for Twitter or works for over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
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 So everybody's on. So
Yeah.
when I lived there, I had a weekly Monday, weekly Tuesday, weekly Wednesday, and sometimes like a monthly Thursday.
And were you doing
It was-
ads or
No,
were
it
you
was just all autopilot just because
Damn.
like
Holy shit! Should I start a show in
It's
the
like
Bay Area?
it's literally the opposite of Seattle.
I'll
Tech,
just go
tech
up every
comes
month
in.
and
Tech comes in and things get better. In Seattle, tech comes in and everyone
Yeah.
is like, we're gonna be worse.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
you got to work harder now to do it, just because there's so many shows and stuff. But when
Yeah.
I was there, if you just got on like the 3 main websites, you were sold out every week.
Oh my
Every week,
God.
it was so
Wow.
easy to run shows there.
That is wild.
Mhm.
That is probably such a fun scene to grow in and
Yeah.
get your feet wet in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of the Bay Area comics that I've met, I'll be like, I feel like we're at a similar level, and then I'll ask them how long they've been doing it, and it's like fewer years than I have, and I'm like, oh, you are definitely from the Bay. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's
Or
like
they're better or
well,
good.
they're
at
like
comedy?
they're like at a same level as
Oh.
me in terms of like shows or bookings or whatever, but
Right.
then they've been doing it fewer years. But because they've been able to do so many more
Yeah.
shows in the place where they start, like Seattle. Once you do all the shows, it's like, all right, I guess I'll do them again, and like I'm just in the same rotation and
Mhm.
stuff, and like there's still like a good amount of shows, but it was really rough for a while, like
Right.
after the pandemic, and even a little bit like
Sure. Yeah.
before that. I think even now it's kind of like there's a few clubs opening up again,
Yeah.
but we lost our home club, and I feel like that was really devistating to a lot of people in the
Can you just
scene.
gain one though?
So we have Club Comedy now.
I want to do that one.
And then there's Laughs, which
Yeah.
you've been to, and then there's Comedy/Bar, which I haven't been to. It opened while I was away and stuff. But yeah, there's a few places, and then there's the Hereafter, which is like kind of a historic music venue,
Yeah.
but they opened a comedy club and an old movie theater underneath
cool.
it. So it's
Oh, that
really
was a movie
cool.
theater.
Yeah, it was a movie theater.
I was always wondering what that was.
Well, because the seating is like
Yeah.
this, yeah. But very fun,
Okay.
but just not a traditional.
Right.
Nothing up in Seattle is traditional. Like that is
Yeah.
the thing. Like people.
They do things a little differently
Yeah.
up there.
Well, that's my favorite thing
What do
is
you mean?
like a lot of like LA comics like know I'm from Seattle, and then they'll like go do Seattle, and then they'll come back and they're always like,
What's
yeah,
up with
so
Seattle?
What's up with like they'll literally be like, what's going on up there? And I'm like, I mean, you tell me. Like
Yeah.
it's actually hilarious.
Do you have any crazy stories from running shows?
Not really. Nothing crazy. Yeah, no, nothing.
Oh,
I mean, like at one
That's
time,
lucky. That's so
Yeah.
lucky.
I
yeah.
mean, Irene. Do you know Irene too?
Mhm.
So, Irene and I, we
Very funny.
ran a Monday show for like 6 years. It was like the show
Okay.
in the Bay Area.
You're
a
kind
while.
of the guy, Andrew.
No.
You
No.
are. Yeah.
It was just like the only Monday show, and it was like it was in Oakland, and it was
Yeah.
just like that's where all like the cool, like. But it was also like
Mhm.
a very woke room.
Okay.
Too woke sometimes.
Mhm. We both.
Yeah.
We're
Speaking
both
of
like, tell
Seattle.
us more.
Because
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
for some people, it's like the easiest room, and then for some people, it's like the toughest room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They would do like some weird passive aggressive shit if they didn't like a comic.
Oh, the room. The people.
The
that,
room would like
Ah.
Joey Avery one time did I don't know, he just being like bro guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't even say anything bad. And then at the end of the
It's just his energy.
Yeah. and then at the end of the night, like someone put a tampon in the tip jar as like be like, don't talk shit on women kind of thing.
I love Joey. That's funny.
Yeah.
He's a sweetie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so that but he does come off very
Yeah.
maybe more broy, I guess. Yeah.
One I got after a show, I stopped saying you guys after
Oh.
Oh,
of that
that
show?
is
Wow.
a woke room.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a woke room.
Yeah,
Like that-
we both got triggered. We were like, yeah.
after when I was hosting, I'd be like, you guys ready for your next comic? And then
Yeah.
one time some like lesbian lady came up to me and was like, hey, like I love your hosting, but you think you could maybe just say y'all or
Okay.
don't say you guys
Y'all is a
anymore?
good replacement.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
since then I was just like I just
mean,
do
sure.
y'all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like
Yeah.
gonna be a bad feminist. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I'm very like respectful of people's like pronouns and
Yeah.
stuff, but like I always say dude. Like I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
dude, like and I'm like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna fight about that,
Yeah.
like, look, come on,
Yeah.
come on, you guys.
Yeah.
It's funny. I have this new bit where I basically I'm making fun of homophobic people, but I start it and I'm like,
You're gonna
I'm,
say homeless.
well, you know, my favorite.
Basically, I'm making fun of homeless people.
But I say like, oh, like that's gay, like that's you
Oh,
know, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing it ironically,
Right.
you know, and you can clearly get that if you listen to the joke. But
Mhm.
I did have a moment where I was like, can't tell that joke in Seattle, you know, like I was
Really?
like, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm still gonna do it. But I was
Right.
just like, oh, you know, like
Yeah.
I was sort of like, should I change the bit a bit?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, no, like fuck it, like I don't care
Yeah.
anymore. But
I don't think that's bad.
no, it's not, right? But I mean, you
Yeah.
say one thing. It's the same thing with like my immigrant jokes. Like I
Yeah.
have these jokes about like parents hitting their kids, and I have to do them a very specific way. And it took me like probably like a good 8 months to figure out the exact order to do the jokes in.
Right.
Because if I don't do them that way, people like, I hear they're like assholes, like actively tighten up.
Right,
Like it's
right.
really, yeah. So you just have to, in some ways it's helped because it's made me really like work out tough material. But
Mhm.
sometimes I'm like, really? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's go. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah.
Just
yeah.
be cool with it.
Like,
Don't be
Yeah.
weird.
yeah. Like, take me back to 2004 MTV Jackass. Like, that's what needs to be okay.
I want to
again.
say whatever.
I want to say whatever.
I want to say it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I'm actually the worst person you've ever met.
Yeah. So it's just that when Dana was here, like, this is a character.
Well, I go, that's gay. I'm so sorry. You know, I'm so sorry, but that's gay. You know, I just apologize.
I will
constantly.
say, I'm going to cut this out, but
Mhm.
I have recently, just from Tommy Boy. Have you seen Tommy Boy?
Yeah.
That
I saw it
part-
for the first time.
Yeah, I was there.
We watched it together. Yes, I forgot.
Never mind.
I hated it. I didn't love.
No, it's the part when he's in the factory and then like he's doing like karate or something with the things that are going
Yeah,
by,
yeah.
and then it like hits him in the head, and they all see, and he goes, "I'm retarded."
Yeah.
But it's like out of nowhere, and like that's the only time they
That's
say it in the
sad.
movie. And so
Yeah.
now I'll say it like to
Yeah.
myself, but as that. But I'm just like, oh, okay, I can't. I have to watch.
Yeah, I do
who
notice
that's
that
around.
people in LA and
Yeah.
and just everywhere. I don't know if it's everywhere else, but I really notice it in LA. People say the word retarded so
Oh, it is
much here.
back.
There's heavy
It is
pushback.
back.
back,
Retards
baby.
are
There's heavy.
back.
I think it's.
And
I think
I'm
the-
okay with it. I'm fine with
This
it.
is the only clip
Bring
we
them
put out.
in.
This is the only clip we put out. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Put
like
it
there
out,
was
okay.
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
heavy pushback to the you can't say that.
I have a
Yeah.
theory. I
But
have a
like
theory.
now it's to the point where it's
Yeah.
like the pushback kind of sold it to more people
Right.
than
Yeah.
there were before.
Wait, can you tell me your thoughts on
So
it?
I have a theory. Well, it's like I don't think it's really that bad anymore. just
Yeah,
just
no,
because
tell us.
Yeah, no, look into that camera.
Only because I feel like we have a specific name for everything now.
Yes.
So like
That's a good point.
they're like we're now educated on like okay Down syndrome, like
Yeah.
autism, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So I feel like
It's not general.
it's
anymore.
not yeah. So we all
not
know,
a
we
catch-all.
know what the diagnosis is now for a lot of things.
Yeah.
That retard just like
Well, also,
what is that even
I've
now?
never
Who-
called a retarded person retarded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, I've never
Yeah.
like seen someone who has like some incapacitation and be like, "Look at that retard." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've never done that in my life. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the only person that
I don't
you
know. That
call-
seemed kind of
The
natural.
only person
That
you
seemed
call
to
a
just roll
retard-
off the tongue.
I would never, but I never use that word. But
Yeah.
but if I what like the only person I would ever call retarded is someone who's
Yeah.
not retarded.
Yeah.
Sam
know?
Sam
Re-
J
re-
has a bit about that.
Retard
now.
is kind of like ironic now.
Yeah.
It's ironic, yes. Yeah.
Sam J has a whole bit about that.
I don't love the flippancy, like that is like the one thing, but I'm like I don't think, like you said, I don't think it's being used the way it was being
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like there's other words where I'm like, I don't know, sometimes like I remember watching this Bill Burr interview and they were talking, maybe it was about the R word or maybe it was another word, but like, oh no, I think it was about the F word.
Right.
And he's like, I'm from Boston. I'm going to use the F. And I was like, that's
That's a
lame.
little different.
That's lame, right?
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, Bill, like you don't need to use the F word. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or like when people are like, well,
You just call out Bill Burr?
historically it meant
What
a
is-
cigar. You
Oh
know,
my
I'm
gosh.
like,
Kidding.
I'm going to call him up. Billy and I
Bill,
go
come
way
out.
back. Yeah.
No.
He's cool. He has a black wife.
That's true.
The amount of times we've said that on this podcast, by the way, it's like,
Never
why
forget.
do we keep talking about Bill?
Never forget 9/11
Um,
and Bill Burr has a black wife.
Yeah. But I think that, like, I don't know, I am such a linguistic nerd that, like, I think about those things
Right.
all the time. Like, Stop.
I know. I just love.
You know.
But I just love the fact that I'm such a linguistics nerd is in the conversation of saying retard.
Right.
Well, no,
I think it should be allowed because in the Oxford Dictionary.
Well, no, because I do hate when people say they don't think words matter. Like, oh, it's just a word.
Oh,
because
yeah,
that's not true.
Yeah.
You know, and like
Right.
we've seen that proven time and time again. But I think that there is a way to, I don't think you should just use it because it's an easy joke, but there is a way to make it very
Right,
funny.
right,
You know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like, that's to your point. It's
Right.
context is key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
hear
so
a lot of
funny.
people say it.
It's
Yeah.
I hear
it's a
lot of
pandemic
people say
here
it.
of people saying the word. Like
Yeah.
I was here maybe 3 weeks and we had a conversation. I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to check in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not there yet.
I was
I'm
like,
not. I'm
do
not saying
people-
it. I'm not
yeah.
there yet. But when I can,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
we're going in.
we're going in, and I'm throwing a party, and I'm saying, bring all your
Changing my at on IG. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding.
At retarded
It's
Andrew
your bio,
Orolfo.
retarded Andrew Orolfo. Yeah.
That's wild.
But I literally he was coming over to record. I remember this, and I go, "Are you noticing that
Oh, yeah.
everyone's saying?"
Everybody says.
That was
The
like
word
one of the first
I'm
times I
so
went to
fu-
the store
that's
down
so
here
funny
since I
that-
moved, and
Yeah.
it was again
Yeah.
from Seattle. You know, that's where I fucking lived, and then
Yeah.
Madison, where I lived before. You know, it's
Also very liberal.
it's progressive and liberal.
Yeah.
Liberal, I'll say it's liberal.
Yeah.
And
Well, technically, LA is liberal,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you know,
but it's wealthy.
there's shit you say
Yeah.
that it's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this crowd, not good, whatever. Go to the fucking comedy
Yeah.
store and someone's just I don't think this is who it is, but
Yeah.
this is exactly who I could hear saying it. But someone's just like, what are you, a gay fucking retard? In the
Yeah.
front? And the crowd goes nuts.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, this is a different place
Well,
for
Yeah.
sure.
To your bingo thing, if you used to do bingo, we would go to the improv and it would be like, there has to be a joke about hitting a woman, there has to be a slur, and there has to be someone saying retard. Like we would literally like
Right.
clockwork. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's so funny,
Yeah.
but
What a world.
what a world.
Yeah.
I'm glad
coming
that we
back.
had-
It's
I'm
coming
glad
back.
we
It's
got
coming
that off
back.
my
we
chest,
just
guys.
we just got to get that one person, you know, like that Greta Thunberg
Yeah,
when
just
she
say it.
when she
If
says
Greta-
it.
You're so right. You're so
When
right.
she says it,
If
oh,
Greta-
it's
No,
open. The
it's
doors
gonna
are
be
open.
Selena Gomez.
Doors
Selena
are
Gomez is gonna say, "Rare beauty is retarded," and then we're in business, baby. We are in business.
What if Malala said it?
Oh, I would be in. I'd be like, we can do whatever we want. You know? Yeah.
Damn, 2023 trend
Yeah.
forecast.
Yeah, exactly.
Retard coming
Coming back. It's
Heavy.
trending up. That's the title of this
Y2K.
episode.
It's part of Y2K.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It
it
was
is.
big then.
That's very early 2000s culture.
So it's like
I
if you're
can't.
gonna.
I can't wait to start calling things gay again. Can I be honest?
Yeah, go
And
Oh,
I
you're already
think, but
going
in
that?
a positive way. In a like that's so gay, babe. Like you know.
Oh,
like, yeah.
okay, okay.
Because being straight is not cool anymore.
Oh yeah, it's out.
No, it's out.
Yeah.
Being straight,
straight
out.
retarded in.
No, bi's in. Bi
Oh.
is in. Finally, it's about time.
Pies have always been
Bi-
No,
around.
bi's. There is biphobia is really rampant, especially in the gay community.
Oh.
People
Oh,
do
yeah.
not think bi people are real.
Yeah.
And they're not, let me tell you. If you're bi, you're just waiting until
This
you
is
get the
turning
right
into fucking.
dick.
This is
you
turning
know?
into
Yeah.
Infowars. What the people
don't
understand
is I'm gonna
say it.
I'm like, come on the show, Andrew. It'll be
Yeah.
fun. Share a funny comedy story. And they'll be like,
let's get you canceled.
Let's talk about.
Let's end that career.
mental
How'd you start your
health.
career? And you're gonna end it right now. All right.
My favorite thing is Andrew going like, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
can't
do.
wait. Yeah.
God, Greta saying it would be.
So good.
That
So
would
good.
truly set the internet on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait.
I really hope it
That's
happens.
such a
now.
good point. Has
I
anything like
really
that ever
hope.
happened? Like, I feel like, has there ever been anyone? Like, I feel like you just get canceled, you know?
What?
To-
Well,
Like, if someone who's like truly beloved saying something
And it
like a little off
becomes-
color, and then it.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to
fucking
think of-
Drake, dude.
What did he say?
Well, yeah, Drake's a creep, and everyone's just like, whatever. He says I liked. He said he either he likes to keep up with high school girls basketball. Look it up. He said that.
right.
Oh,
He said that, and it's like
You
don't have a daughter on the
that's
team.
something you don't keep up with, you know? Like,
that's
that's.
not something you
Right.
keep.
Yeah.
Fucking even kids at that high school don't keep up with it.
But-
and then
but
fucking
Elliott-
Drake is
Elliott, he wrote Hotline Bling. That's kind of.
for Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And again, we all looked the other
You
way.
know?
He just
Yeah.
had that fucking show on his stage with all the screens where it was like sperm cells swimming around?
I saw that.
What are you doing, Aubrey?
Didn't he have a hologram hand him a book?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
How?
it was-
Can someone explain
I don't
that to
know.
me?
I think maybe it was like a person, but they like put a hologram on their face or something.
Yeah, it was like his younger self, right?
Yeah.
Oh. I was wondering if they were just suspending the book from
Oh,
air.
yeah.
Yeah, there was one dude way up in the rafters with a fishing line. He's
like a marionette doll.
It drops down too
Maybe
low. He has to
Holding
pick
it
it
at
back
the
up.
exact
It's too
angle.
high.
Yeah.
Bring it lower.
I really thought that's
Possibly.
what was happening. Or like a drone's flying the book.
Yeah,
I don't know.
drone. That would be sick if you're just
That would
sitting
be
there and
sick.
you're like, time for a story, and then a book just
That
drops
is
into your hand.
holograms scare me. That's the one thing I don't want it. I've seen Pixel
Mhm.
Perfect on the Disney Channel. We
Oh.
can't. They'll take over. I've seen Smart House. AI
Smart
cannot
House.
happen.
I've seen
It
the
can't.
Tupac hologram,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's enough.
That's
Damn.
enough out of that.
I skipped that year.
Oh yeah, you love Coachella. This
Oh,
is
really?
another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Andrew a little bit changed my mind about music festivals.
Well, maybe he can
Um,
get you in touch with the guy.
I know. Yeah. Get me in touch with the Coachella.
You're like, is
vinyl
his name
guy.
Ben?
Close, actually. No, I'm kidding. No, I
Ren.
just that's another thing that the crowds a little bit
Yeah.
freak me out because I
Yeah.
heard when you're leaving, it's really scary.
Yeah, because everyone's trying to like get out.
Yeah.
I don't.
Everyone just wants
That's
to
one
leave.
of
You
my
can leave
fears. I don't want to
early,
get
yeah.
trampled.
You leave
Yeah.
early.
But aren't
People
the
leave
best
early.
headliners at the end?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
You
mean,
can yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Were you
could
there
leave.
for Frank Ocean this year?
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
Ooh.
I didn't care. I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks, but I don't. It depends on like what he was doing. If he was like trolling, so funny,
Oh, really?
so funny.
You have a sick twisted.
If he
sense
did, if
of
he did that
humor.
to fuck with everybody at Coachella,
yeah,
I like it.
Nice.
hilarious.
Okay.
Oh my god.
But if he just had like performance anxiety, then I guess that sucks too. I don't really care.
You need
I go
prank
for the
show.
experience, not
Yeah.
the.
the journey,
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
really care.
You're
about
gonna have
that.
you're the next Ashton Kutcher. Like that's what's gonna happen for you. You're gonna just prank people to death and
I do love pranks.
To
yeah,
death.
yeah.
You ever watch Scare Tactics?
What is
I just
that?
recently rewatched it.
Yeah.
It's like a prank show from the early 2000s.
on MTV?
Some of it was like
It
they're
was-
crazy.
Yeah, because it was like when Punked and then Jamie Kennedy had the X Factor and all that. So they were
Okay.
like, "Oh, we're gonna make our own prank show."
Okay.
And they had like Ken Marino, I think.
I
was
love
on
Ken
some.
Marino.
The woman from Superstore, not America Ferrera, but like the manager who was like
I've never seen
super
that.
horned
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
She was on it. Oh, John Doerr was on it.
Yeah.
Because it was a Canadian show. It was a Canadian
Oh,
show.
what? Oh, I didn't
But
know
the
that.
but the like the pranks weren't just like, oh, you're in a weird situation. It's like you're gonna die. Like they
Yeah.
literally would like there was one where
Canadians are crazy.
There was
Dude,
one where
Canadians
someone-
love pranks.
They
Dude,
do.
the
They
John
do.
Doerr one, they're in like a lab or whatever at like night or a morgue or some shit. And then he's just like, oh, I'm gonna like go, I gotta go grab something real quick. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And they're just like standing in this room. And all of a sudden, like someone comes in with like a chainsaw and just like
Yeah.
corners them. And they're like, oh my God. And they're like, are you scared? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, cause you should be,
See-
you're on Scare Tactics.
Dude,
and they're like,
I could never.
Now that I think about
Yeah.
it,
those
like
people
looking back on
literally
that
thought they were
show,
gonna die numerous times.
a lot of it was like kind of scary, but I feel like a lot of that show was just like putting makeup on little people.
Yeah, there was the rat person.
They did that a lot.
Yeah.
Like like they did that a lot. Like a demon baby,
and that's
a
coming
rat
back.
thing.
Yeah.
And that-
that's coming back.
They would literally
Trend.
Yeah.
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 That's wild. Yeah, I don't think I have it in me to like really do a mean prank. Like
Right.
so I pranked. We have a good friend, Chris Mejia is his name.
Oh, I love
and-
Chris.
Oh, you know Chris?
Yeah.
He's the best. Yeah.
Chris.
Oh, you also met my friend Juno, which
Juno just did Motherland
yes,
last week.
love Juno.
Nice.
But so Chris, I pranked him into thinking I was dating a celebrity.
I heard about this from Chris.
Mm.
and went on for a long time.
Right.
And I started to feel bad because I was like, it's just, he's sending me like the sweetest messages being like, you're a great person. Like, don't let anyone treat you like this guy's treat. Like, I made a whole
Right.
web of lies and I was like, I have to tell him. Like,
Right.
but it could have gone on for a year if I had
Right.
allowed it. Like, it was so funny.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know how far you
I love
take it.
wholesome pranks.
That is really
Yes,
funny.
a wholesome prank.
Here,
Yeah.
can I show you a prank that I did that
Please.
I filmed?
I would love nothing more.
So I did a run of Don't Tells in Arizona with
Yeah.
Dawood, Joey, Mark, and Irene. We
Oh
just
my
did a
God,
whole
fun.
Arizona weekend. And then at the hotel we were staying at, there was the women's UC Davis women's lacrosse team. Staying at the same.
And Drake was like,
Amazing.
I'm here to watch.
Yeah, he's
I'm
I
keep-
keep up with
I'm
the
keeping
women's
up.
LAX team. Yeah.
Same hotel, and they were all sitting one morning at the bot that they were getting ready to go on their bus, and they were all chilling. And then I asked them to, as soon
so
as
scared.
our friend came out, to just start cheering for him as he walked out the hotel.
How do you think of this shit? That is
Yeah,
so
I thought
funny. That
Where
is
is
so
it?
fucking funny. I love a wholesome prank, I will say.
I do too. I don't like
Yeah.
cutting people's fucking AirPods on the street or whatever.
Yeah,
that shit's so
the
crazy to
YouTube
me.
prankers are really insufferable to me. I think that's like one of the worst trends that's like come out of like modern media, because people do like crazy things and then they're just like, oh, I was filming it, and it's like, I don't want that out there. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah,
what?
a lot of it too is like, I'm gonna go piss off a black person.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or
100%.
just a
Yeah.
non-white person.
Oh my god.
All
Speaking
right.
of wholesome, do you have any good like stories or a piece of advice for people wanting to do comedy or prank someone or anything?
Wholesome advice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just advice in general.
What do people usually say?
We've
so I
got
don't say
a
that.
really interesting mix, actually. Like some
What are
people,
your favorites?
well, so Dana just did our podcast, and she was saying like, tap into your inner intuition of like what is leading you towards what you want to do, because she does like character work. And she was like, it took me a long time to be like, oh, that's something I know I want to do and I'm gonna do it.
Right.
We've also like
I'm
had
bad at that.
it's
I'm very
hard to
bad at
listen to your
that.
intuition. It's really
Yeah.
like it's a skill, actually. But yeah, we've had people go as specific as like, go to the mics, like find the people, and do like kind of more logistical advice. And then people do like internal stuff too. So
Right. I'll say I feel like the thing that helped me the most in this journey was just like traveling a lot. Like take time to just
Yeah.
like spend a week everywhere.
yeah,
I mean, the more people that can vouch for you in any city is like
totally.
better. So like
Yeah.
before I moved to LA, I made sure like in 2018 and 19, I was like, okay, every week I'm gonna go spend 3 or 4 days in a city that I've never been
Yeah.
and just do their shows.
You
Yeah.
have to do it. And
Yeah.
then when you go back the second time, it's easier. When you go back the third time, it's
Mhm.
easier. And then eventually you're headlining somewhere,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I remember one year I was like, I put myself in so much debt one year,
Yeah.
like a lot, just because I was like, okay, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
Atlanta, Florida, New York,
Yeah.
and just for like 2 years, one weekend or week out of the month, I would go somewhere else,
Mhm.
somewhere new,
Mhm.
and just kill and make sure everybody
Yeah.
knew who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that helped out a lot.
Yeah.
I've heard that about festivals too. People are
But
like,
yeah, festivals are definitely. a good
but
way.
people are like, Armando actually told me this, but
Mm.
he was like, yeah, like fuck festivals. I mean, if like you can get into one, cool, but you should just take that time. One, save yourself the fucking mental anguish of
Right.
spending
Rejection,
$40 to then wait to find out if you got in or not.
Mhm.
But it's like, just go to a city on that weekend. You're gonna get on way better shows
Yeah.
that will probably pay, and then you can also just network way easier and
Mhm.
like
I've
meet
done that
people.
actually. now
And
that
so
I think about it.
but that's like
Mhm.
exactly what that is. It's
Yeah.
like travel, go somewhere.
Yeah.
Whereas with a festival, yeah, you're gonna meet people, but it's such a different atmosphere than what it normally is in that city.
Mhm.
And also, everyone's gonna be trying to meet everyone.
Well,
so
also,
it's like a
very few festivals like help you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
there's very few now that have industry or that guarantee
Mhm.
you something, or like that will pass you at a club if you do their festival or something. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, I think people forget that the people that you need to make connections with are fellow comics. You
True,
know,
yeah.
and like, yeah, it's great to like get in with the booker, obviously, but like,
Yeah.
how do you think they hear about people? You
Right.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, go do the work and like make an effort to meet other people in other scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
because when you're out and like, so you'll meet cool people in like a different city
Yeah.
and you'll do their show, and then eventually they'll move to LA or New York and they'll
Right.
start their show, and then now
Yeah.
you get to do that
I mean, it's like,
That's
you
like
know,
exactly
point
what I
case
did.
us.
Yeah.
You know, I was like
Yeah.
so excited when I was in LA and I just like randomly ran into you and I was like, oh my God, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
so pumped. So,
Plus, you
yeah.
you get to see how it's done elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, talking about the Seattle thing, or even here with cold opens, it's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
if you just stayed here, you would think, yeah, that's just how it's done.
Yeah.
If you're in
true.
Seattle, you just think,
True.
yep, that's how
That's
all
a
clubs
really
work.
good
But then
point.
you go other
Yeah.
places, and you're like, oh, okay, no, this is just specific to this scene,
Mhm.
or you know, this thing here is what they all do, but elsewhere,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it just kind of makes you realize there's a bigger picture
Mhm.
than
Yeah, I think
wherever
it's a
you are.
huge. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a advice that I wish I was told. Get good at interviews.
What? Do
I never
you
heard
interview
that.
a lot?
Like, I mean, like, well, you do general meetings. It's kind of like a job
Oh, I
interview.
see.
And I
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
I've only gotten jobs through friends,
Yeah.
like, or sneaky ways, you know?
Yeah.
So I've never actually had to interview for a job. And then now that I'm getting into
Yeah.
like these meetings with like executives and like
Oh my
producers,
God.
I just don't know how to act.
Yeah.
So, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like I get
Dude,
fucked
that's
sometimes.
so funny. I'm always I'm a writer and I still don't know how to write a job like
Yeah.
resume,
Yeah.
but I have only ever gotten jobs because of the interview.
Okay.
Because I'll get in there and I'm just like, you
Yeah.
either like me or you don't. I'm a
Right.
very like, you are on board or you're not, you
Right.
know? And then the people that like me really like me and they're like, yeah, we don't know if you even have the experience, but we think that we love your personality. You know, like
Right.
they're like, you seem like you will do anything to
Right.
have this job. So it's like very, yeah, that is nerve wracking
Yeah.
though. The general meetings here too, I feel like sometimes you don't even know, like, do they say it's a general meeting? Because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes you meet people here and they're like, hey, we should grab lunch. And then you show up and you're like, oh, this is a full on meeting.
Oh, yeah, sometimes. I mean, that's
Yeah.
rare. I mean, like,
But you know the context of who you're meeting.
right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if it's like my manager or agent sets it
Yeah.
up, then I have to,
Yeah.
then I kind of know what to do. But
Yeah.
still, I'm like, at the beginning of I was like, fuck, I'm like, I don't know what I'm,
Yeah. Well, you're kind of selling someone on your own
yeah.
personality and dreams,
Yeah.
which is scary.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing
Yeah.
that you have to do.
Yeah. And I need prep.
Yeah.
I need to like sit down and like
Yeah.
think of what I'm gonna say at these
Yeah.
things, and sometimes I don't have the time for it.
You got to get
Yeah.
a team,
Yeah.
I
like
mean-
like a politician.
You just
Yeah,
keep excusing
I do
yourself to the
need
that.
bathroom.
Right
You're like, I have notes in the stall. Like,
Every
yeah.
question, you're like, oh, excuse me for one second.
They walk in, there's red string everywhere.
This
Yeah.
water is not agreeing with me, so I will be right back.
They're like, so how old are you? You're like, 1 second.
But then as soon as you come back to the table, you just immediately go into your answer. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like, oh, thank you.
29. No,
Yeah, you're just,
yeah, you come back.
That's so, like I'm talking to a lawyer.
yeah.
How funny would it be if they're sitting right behind
Yeah.
you and you just kind of like stretch every once in a while? That's so funny.
I'm looking up paperwork.
Yeah. So how would you get
32.
good at interviewing, do you think? Just
I'm
like,
still bad at it.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I just
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
Just
Just be yourself. I feel like
Right.
that's like something a mom would say, but like, you know,
yeah.
like you're obviously lovable, you know,
Thank
like
you.
if someone sees something in you and your manager like believes in you, I think
Right.
it's like someone will see that, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Being yourself
Yeah.
has gotten you this far.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Here
right.
Mom and dad are here to, you know, put in the work.
Yeah, we may fight, but
Yeah.
we got your best interest at heart.
And we always end up on the same page, you know?
Yeah.
So
Aw.
Yeah.
we're taking you to Toys R Us after this. for
Yeah,
shopping
come on, let's
spree.
get an ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Andrew. Where can people find you?
At Andrew_Orolfo for now.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, a retarded Andrew coming soon. Yeah.
You're coming back.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's
retarded, Andrew.
That person who's like, don't want saying
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
That's honestly, that's just
exactly,
Eric, that's
yeah.
an Eric Andre
Only
skit.
white liberals are allowed to say retarded, and I've said it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, it's that quickly. It's become a race thing. Look at that,
So,
and it just came back, and it's just been gentrified.
and
Wow.
where can people find the meter as well?
At the Meter Podcast on,
Yeah.
For
on
now.
everything.
Yeah.
Apple, Google, whatever,
Yeah.
all of it.
It's
YouTube.
so fun. Go listen to it,
Yeah,
guys.
please.
That does sound really
It's
fun,
so
yeah.
Please
fun.
watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to come out with like a board game version of it. And
Oh,
yeah.
The Reader.
Like a catchphrase, like a catchphrase
10%.
style beeper, but like it's Oh,
Mhm.
we should do that tomorrow. We'll play. Well, you can play it with us.
Okay.
Producer,
Sure.
Producer mode. Turn
I
it
know,
off.
I know. It's my brain. It's how
It'll
it
be
works.
big in Japan.
Elliot, where can people find
You can find me on all social media platforms at Grent Radish, GrentRadish, ElliotGB.com.
And I'm at Ariana Ramic on everything. I will not be spelling it once again.
But will she be changing it?
Yeah,
Find
I'll
out
be changing-
soon.
That's gay Ariana Ramic. I'm in my gay era. All right, goodbye.
Bye.